Series event is Run Clark Lake, and we have race director Pat Dwyer, and from the ORS race series, Melissa Burgett. Pat, Melissa, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Here we are. First up, it's big controversy. Is it Clark Lake Run or Run Clark Lake?
I call it Run Clark Lake, but everybody says, how's the Clark Lake Run coming this year? So I put Run Clark Lake as kind of a thing that Tom Collins, the promoter, and myself just said, we wanted a series of races, let's make it Run Clark Lake.
Now, does Tom Collins run in this?
Tom has passed. Tom was, John.
John, does John Collins run in this?
No, but when it was the CL7, before I changed it to Run Clark Lake and added the 5K, we always had to run around the lake. That was about 7 miles. And then in '93, I called Scott Hubbard from USA Track and Field and I said, I want to certify the course. And we certified the course, and he said, 12K is an international distance that they keep records. I said, well, if I'm going to be USA Track and Field certified, I want to track it. So we added a couple twists and turns, and then we added the 5K run. And that course has not changed 1 inch since we certified it. And then a 5K walk, and then we put on a 3/4 K kids run. Thus we had a festival of races, and but John, when it was the CL7, held the 13 and under age group record for a while. So I've been putting it on that long. So.
Well, I know John's kids can run, and John watches our show. We appreciate that, John and the Beach Bar. But glad to hear his family's connection, because the Beach Bar, it's part of this race as much as the Clark Lake itself. Now, Melissa, this is something that I know you're very excited about, having the ORS race series include Clark Lake.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Pat is a staple in the community, in the running community, and obviously the history behind the race. It's just been that added elevation to the race series. It's definitely one of our participants' favorites. It brings families back to town for that weekend. The amount of families that participate, it's always a really large race.
About 27 states last year, people from 27 states.
That's awesome.
And a lot of them were coming back for Raftorama. It's the weekend, families come in. That's part of it, but we have people, we have so many entries from Ohio and Indiana and Illinois. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's huge. People are signing up already, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're over 150 already with
cool.
2 weeks to go.
Yeah, and I was really late announcing putting it online and stuff. I got a million other things going besides the run, but
Pat,
we get the numbers.
How long have you been running this race?
Well, Louis stuttered, so Tom asked me. Tom asked me to be the assistant director, and that was 76 was the first run, 77 since 1978, and then I've been like full blown.
Almost the whole.
Absolutely.
49 years.
Yeah, but half a century.
So next year you're going to be. This is going to for you. Wow, what a milestone! So it's going to be.
It's a milestone, not for me, for the community. The community, it speaks for the community. I mean, we call it Clark Lake Spirit out there, and there's a reason. I mean, I do everything until the day of, but the people on the day of, they're on the corners, they're at parking cars, they're doing water. I've had some of the same sponsors for 40 years. I don't ask for sponsors. They ask me if they can sponsor my race. It's been a great tribute to the community, I think. And somebody's always got to lead, but I couldn't lead if nobody's behind me following. And I got a ton of faithful people. That's what makes it happen.
Every race has its own unique flavor and touch. What do you like about Run Clark Lake?
I think what is most fun for me is to see how many families per Pat's stat come back for that race every year. And the boats that drive up and park and people get out and they walk through the water to come out. It's those types of things, as you can see the family ties and that tradition that goes with it.
Best finish line in the state, I think. You're coming down that hill around the county park, and we have almost as many spectators as runners a lot of times. And you got you finish the cross, finish line, you can take a right into the lake and
Do
go
people
for a
run
dip.
into the lake if?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they're jumping in there swimming, or you can take a left and you go through the sprinklers and everything and walk into the beach bar patio. And if you're of age, you can get a cold beverage, and we have, watermelon and, all kinds of stuff. I mean, so it's the best finish line I think I've seen in a race, and I've ran a lot of them.
It's definitely a perk with it being in August. It's been traditionally pretty hot the past couple of past couple of races.
Yeah, the good thing is we try to get all the runners off the course at 10. MIS generally has a race the same day, and Columbia Township is overloaded with their obligations. They're wonderful. They always squeeze us in. So we ask people that run the 12K, if they can't run a 12-minute mile, don't get in the race. And
Well, that can't,
and that'll put them done by 10, and the kids' race starts at 9:45, and we try to wrap things up at 10.
we have a new logo, and I think Dottie Karkak did this. Is that right?
Dottie?
Did Dottie make this?
That
No, this isn't the
That's
one.
for the shirt.
that was
right?
one of my options.
Yep.
She
That
made
was
me
one of the options.
She made me 3 options.
She made 3. That's not it.
We're option.
No.
That's number 2.
That's
oval
number
one.
2.
We don't like
selected
that.
number 3.
Let's
for
hope
this
number
year.
3 is it.
This is
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
That's the lake. That's the lake.
Awesome. That's the
Yeah.
lake. It's the lake.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you mentioned hot. Last week, the Grass Lake traffic jamming, it was so hot. How hot was it, Melissa?
I don't know that.
Melissa, how hot was that?
Josh sweated through his shirt.
Well, that's normal. But the past 3, so Concord was really hot too.
Yeah.
And then Hanover Firecracker. So we've
That
had
was-
all of our
they're
summer
all
races
hot.
have been
Yeah,
pretty warm.
Hanover was a morning run.
Yes.
So you know how hot it is in the evenings.
Yes.
And those 2 were evening runs.
Yes, they were.
And
Concord
which are
and
pretty
traffic
unique
jamming.
in itself to have evening runs are cool in the series especially. It mixes up what races can you make and what you can't, and it gives people time to travel on the weekends. If they can't make a race, they can get a evening run in. It's the series is laid out really cool. I mean, ours falls in first Saturday of August, always has, and everything from the start to the finish. Great seasonal runs,
Oh, it's beautiful. What a
the
beautiful
groundhog
yeah.
and
And I like
Thanksgiving.
the cross-country runners participate in
Yep.
this more than any of the other races because
We-
the coaches have them starting to train.
Yep.
Clark Lake is the week after us. They can meet with their coaches. So a lot of people, coaches, they don't send a team, but and they encourage them to, and then they'll base their starting training runs. You usually when you train, you run whatever you're running right now, 10 seconds faster or 15 seconds faster in your shorter distances, so you can get, so they base it off the Clark Lake Run race. So that's been cool.
All right, let's get people registered right now, and you have a shirt with that
Yep.
logo on it,
Yep.
and all the other fun stuff that you get with an ORS Running Series event. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, can't wait.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for putting the event on. And Melissa, thanks to Orthopedic Rehab Specialists and you for making this race series as awesome as it's become.
Well, thank you for your support. Again, to Pat's point, we can't do this without the support of our communities.
One question.
Ooh.
Has she been on as many times as Rick Walton?
It's tied.
Most female. Most
Yeah, there you go.
female, yes.
I get the female version. Rick gets the male.
She does a
version.
wonderful job for the community.
She
Oh,
sure
thanks.
does.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, get signed up for Clark Lake Run or Run Clark Lake, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And we'll see you next month. It'll be here before you know it. Melissa Burgett and Pat Dwyer.